We are live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Kelly here, Casey, Embodiment of Soul Care. We're back. Okay, we hope that you guys have your cup of tea to join us for this evening's chat. We have decided, okay, so we told you Power of Perception Part 2. But Casey and I kind of discussed this, and Power of Perception is, the whole gamut. Every time we talk, every time we chat, it's really going to be about power of perception, because everything always goes back to how you're perceiving what's going on in your life. So today, though, we decided to take a little bit of a twist, and we'll get into more of relaxation, how to relax the body so that you can perceive the world in a different perspective, so that you can be more perceptive to what's coming in for you and what you want to put out there, what you want to have happen for you as well. So we're going to do a little bit of a grounding exercise to begin here after I get through a little bit of a chit chat, and Casey will lead you through that. And I think it's going to be an exercise that Casey shows you that you'll then be able to take on through your days and through your weeks and through your years, or however often even if you want to use it 20 times a day, go for it. So what we want to address first, though, is, I think we talked about this in the first episode about cortisol levels. The more stress that you feel, the higher your cortisol levels and the lower your immune system. And we want to try to avoid this. We want to make sure that we're always keeping our bodies relaxed. We're always keeping ourselves as centered as possible. And we know that things get in the way and you get stressed out and you get overwhelmed. And so we just want to give you a few things to help control that. And one thing that I'm going to teach you is there's a difference between shallow breathing and actually breathing. So when we breathe from our chest, which is where a lot of people breathe from, is from up here. What happens is it's almost like breathing after a workout, like you're just like, and you go into this hyperventilation state, and you start to stretch the intercostal spaces, and you start to get stressed out, and you may even have heart arrhythmia, or you might even have palpitations. You could even go into a hot sweat or a panic attack. So the thing to avoid that is to make it very kind of a normalizing thing that you breathe from your belly. As you breathe in and out from your belly, you're actually working on massaging the inner organ systems. And when we massage the inner organ systems, we not only get the blood flow better, but we help to relax the entire body. If you have emotions that are stuck in those organ systems, sometimes that'll help to relax those emotions and help to kind of bring you back to a centered sense. So that is something that I use on a daily basis. I try to make a conscious effort to breathe from my belly and not from my chest region. And I know, suck it in, make it look good, but no. Breathe from that belly, let that air out, let it out, relax it. When you're sleeping at night, you're definitely not up here, you're down here. You're breathing, when you're relaxed, you're always breathing from your belly. So make it a conscious effort to remember to do that. And that'll help to bring all of that stress level down. It'll help to reduce those cortisol levels and help your immunity and help your whole body to become more centered and more focused on being what it should be, which is a well-oiled machine that'll help you fight anything emotionally and or physically. And so Casey, let's go into this. Did you want to do 2 minutes? Or we're just going to kind of guide through it here. You're going to guide us through this grounding cord type of a meditation that'll just kind of get us all set up together so that we then can be in the same space. And even if this is even if this is your only 2 minutes of the day that you're actually getting to relax, this is a good excuse. So
we thought, later you could always come back if you like it, and listen to it again, or, at any point. So we just wanted to offer it. Something that Kelly and I both use quite a bit with our own meditations and visualizations. And we thought it'd be a nice way to set the space for today's conversation. So I just wanted just invite you to close your eyes, take a few deep belly breaths, really feel that belly expand as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And I do want to encourage you to try sighing audibly when you breathe out. It's very relaxing for your body and your nervous system to hear the out breath. You can either kind of, make a slight ah sound, very soothing to the body. And as you're taking these deep breaths, I want you to really connect with your heart. Connect with your heart space and see the light in your heart. Imagine it descending through your body, out through your root chakra, and see it connect with the earth. You can visualize this light connecting with the core of the earth however you like. Maybe it's tree roots that are growing through the earth and extending down into the core of the earth. Perhaps it's a pillar of light, a strong pillar of light that connects straight from your heart to the earth. Perhaps it's just a wisp of a thread that descends downward and lightly touches the core. The core of the earth is crystalline. You can see it sparkling, glowing. That deep, beautiful light can be whatever color you want it to be. And just take this moment to rest and pause. Pause in the core of the earth and rest here. Allow the mother to just embrace you. Relax in this embrace. You are held and you are loved. You are always connected. This represents Source, love, God. You can connect here anytime. It's always here and it's within your heart. So take another deep breath. Feel this field expand. Feel that love expand within your heart. Who you are is this love. Who you are is this light. Thank the mother and know that your light is always connected. All you need to do is tap in. It's always right there for you. And now, open your eyes and smile. And we'll get ready for the rest of our conversation.
Wonderful. Casey, that was really nice. Very relaxing. I feel
I'll probably go back and listen to it later.
Yeah, I will. You know, I like that whole, I never use that lighting of the heart and then sending it through the body. Instead, I'm just kind of like one of those, okay, just send it down, you know? So, and that's nice to have that, that positioning, you know, where there's that part of your body that you can really connect to and then send it down. Yeah. I like that a lot. Very good. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, I feel way more centered and with it. Now let's see what comes out of my mouth.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Which is what we were talking about, you know, with the relaxation, that when you're centered and relaxed, then you can almost access, you know, any emotion. So you can access excitement. You could access, you know, let's say that you were feeling a little sad or depressed. You can hold space for that from a more relaxed state. It's almost like the witness. You know, a lot of times we talk about the witness and the observer, and it gives you the space to be that, and your embodiment just loves it and just relishes in it. You know what I mean? Oh, it's such a gift to give yourself, to be in that relaxed state. That's where healing occurs. That's where rejuvenation occurs.
Yeah, that's where creativity, manifestation, all of it occurs in that relaxed state. And I think that that's something that we really wanted to make clear to all of you, because we know that right now everybody's kind of on edge. Everybody's, and especially even here in the state of Colorado, I mean, I know that we're opening up on Sunday, and I think that some people have, meaning like we're getting out of quarantine, we're opening up. And I think some people have a little bit of reserves about it. I know I have a little of anxiety about it. You know, it's like, well, what do we do next? You know, do I go out and start doing all the things that I used to do? Do I kind of just one day at a time? You know, and I think that is the answer, one day at a time. Just kind of see how things go, and feel your way through it, and really remember to relax and be calm and keep bringing yourself centered, even if it's before you go in somewhere. If you haven't been out at all, like in the last 6-7 weeks, you know, bringing yourself in, recentering before you even get out of the car, so that you can manage what's going to come about. I know I've been out a few times, and it's a little odd out there. It really is. You know, I'm not used to the whole mask effect, and, you know, and everybody staying away from me, because I'm very much like I want to talk to everybody. I want to embrace everybody. I want to express how I'm feeling. I want to know how they're feeling. And I'm very much that way. I'm an empath, and I like to, I guess, be in your space. And nobody wants me in their space. So I think the last time that I was out, it was kind of one of those overwhelming scenarios where I was just like, I just said hi and they didn't say hi back.
I
You
know.
know, and my feelings were a little hurt. I was like, what's going on? This world's just changing around me. I know, it's just changing so much, and they don't even want to make eye contact with you. And I want all of you that do listen to this to please do make eye contact with people and be that relaxing source that allows people to feel like everything is okay. If we all walk in someplace and we're all stressed out and we're all high tension, then everybody's gonna just human beings are just gonna change so much and not for the better. So go in, be relaxed, be kind to your fellow people, and embrace one another as best you can. And I know, Casey, you have some really cool things to do with affirmations and encouragement. And I'm going to let you get to that because I think it's pretty pivotal for especially this time.
Yeah, and we wanted to, just give some of those words of encouragement so you can come from that place within. And there was one thing I wanted to mention about, I was in a yoga class this week, and the teacher said the most beautiful thing. She said, there's always uncertainty in life, right? I mean, life really is always uncertain, whether we're present to that or not. We're just more aware of it right now because there is so much heightened uncertainty. So it kind of pulls us outside of ourselves and maybe makes it harder to come back in, to feel the relaxation, to give our body that gift. So I think that that's just, in terms of like how we're perceiving things, it's good to remember that life has always been uncertain. And that's okay. And that's what it is. And we don't need to try and make it something it's not. And now that we're more aware of it, we need to put in that little bit of extra effort to bring it back to center, to feel that place of peace. So anyways, just kind of a little thing I wanted to throw out there that was really powerful for me this week when I was thinking about it and thinking about, like you said, in the uncertainty, and we're kind of which parts of life are we going back to? We're all going to make different decisions, perhaps inside of what we're allowed to do. People will make different choices about what they feel comfortable with, and that's fine. And we need to respect other people's choices, and we need to respect how other people are feeling about this. I had also heard, we're all in the same ocean, but we're not all in the same boat. People are dealing with different things, different situations. So like you said, let's be kind, let's be compassionate, let's offer that to others. Because so much of what we are here to offer is our light. Right. And I really want to affirm that. That's true for me. That's true for Kelly. That's true for every single person who is tuning into this podcast. You are the light of the world. And that is what the greatest gift you can also radiate outwards. We were chatting that I really wanted to share, the last 10 years especially, we have all been on a very deep spiritual journey, whether you're conscious of it or not. You have been on a deep spiritual journey, doing clearings, doing healings, doing subconscious work, doing conscious work. You have prepared yourself. You have been in training. You have been in spiritual boot camp for this moment. This is a very important time for the planet. And the best thing we can do is bring our light. And the more clear we are, the more we can bring our light to any situation, whether it's to ourselves, to our families, to the world, whether we're in the grocery store, etc. And I just really wanted to affirm that because I think sometimes we get caught up and we forget there is a bigger picture here in a sense. You are bigger than just you and your body. Your field radiates outward. It does make a difference. So know that for yourself. Know that you are on the perfect path for you. We are all on our perfect path. We have all, have faith in yourself. Even my son mentioned in his video, don't doubt yourself. In the one that I put out there today. And it was so, such a beautiful thought and exactly what we wanted to share with you, to really honor yourself. And perhaps that will also help you relax and feel a place of peace within. kind of that 30,000 foot view that we were speaking about last week. And give yourself some space, hold space for yourself as you adjust to your new normal. We're all adjusting to a new normal. And here's kind of, where the affirmation piece came in that was really powerful. So I was listening to this gentleman, his name is Matt Kahn, that's Kahn, and he's a beautiful, beautiful light on this planet. And you're affirming exactly what we're saying. He's really here to help people be their light in the world. And he had this beautiful call, and he had an affirmation that I really wanted to share with you. In those moments, like Kelly said, maybe you just need a quick moment, or maybe you're doing a 10-minute meditation and just want to keep affirming it. Whatever you're feeling, whether it's, it could be yours, it could be part of the collective, right? We had spoken about that in the very first podcast. Yes. Some of what you're feeling, it's not always yours. Sometimes you're just tapping into the energies of others. So whether you're feeling tension, whether you're feeling, some fear, or you're just in the uncertainty and you just, can't quite get out of it. I mean, I really hit a wall on Sunday personally, and I really had to dig pretty deep. And, part of what I realized was I was just still trying to do too much and almost think through too much, because I was starting to project again into the future and not be in the present moment. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of pulled it back, but it was leading to, feeling tense again and feeling like I needed to have it all figured out. So I just kind of took a few days and took it a little easy and didn't get as much done. And it was fantastic. And that's when this came in, where I was able to settle into a deeper, more calm place. So the affirmation, you can kind of say it in whatever way works for you. Take what you're feeling, let's say tension. Mm-hmm. I transmute this tension back into light. Give it back. Give it back to source. Take what you're feeling, take a deep breath, and give it back to source. Give it to God. Give it to spirit. Release it and allow it to be transmuted back into light and back into love. May this tension be returned to source. May this tension be returned back to the light. Kind of play with the language, whatever speaks to you. But it's really been so powerful for me, and just kind of repeating it, a few times over and over. Oh, may this tension be transmuted back into the light. You can just feel it. You can just feel that space. Yeah. Just play with that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's, I really like that, because it's a simple way to get rid of anything that you are feeling in the present moment. And that kind of, brings me into, something I was going to talk about tonight, which is the trigger emotions. And I kind of had that this week. I had called Casey. I kind of had my own issues this week. And mine was trigger emotions. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to discuss this, because it came so much into my light and into my space that it actually sat me back in my chair. Because here I am, I'm always playing, in this realm of light, in this realm of, spirituality and being happy and being carefree and this and that, and really moving with it. And then something hit me. I got an emotional trigger, and I was just like, bam,
boom,
just boom, exploded everything in front of my face. And I sat there after it happened, and I just thought to myself, okay, these emotional triggers, I have to get past them, because it's showing me that, I still have, of course, I still have so much to learn. I still have so much to imply. I have so much to put into motion within myself. And I think that's part of what we really wanted to address tonight, was that it's okay to be set back. It's okay to feel like you don't have it together, because those times happen continually. And if they don't, then you have no place to grow. And so with these trigger emotions, and just in case anybody doesn't really know what I'm talking about, a trigger emotion is, it can be something somebody says, something somebody does, the way they walk towards you, the way that they address you, the way that they comment about something you're even wearing. It doesn't matter. It can be all these things, and it almost puts you in this fight or flight panic mode of, I'm not good enough. Something isn't right. I can't do it. I shouldn't do it. Maybe I'm too stupid. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. And I know all of us have those moments. And so it's so important that we learn how to deal with those trigger emotions. And the affirmation that Casey just talked about, when those things come up, and then sending it to the light and sending it to source to deal with, that surrender and release mode, where you're just like, okay, I surrender, I'm giving it to you, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. That's one way to do it. Other ways to do it is,
all right, 5 minutes. I'm going to reset. Keep talking.
Okay, so another way to do it is to change your mode of thinking. So, and that's easier said than done, because once you have that momentum going of that negative thought of I'm not good enough, let's just work with that one. I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, and you have that momentum going. It's like a snowball effect, that piece of snow rolling down the mountain that just keeps collecting more and more snow, and you're just getting more and more, I'm not good enough, until it just freaking blows up in your face. Well, instead of just trying to yell stop to the snowball, let's slowly and methodically try to slow the pace of the snowball. And what that's going to take is exactly what we started with today, which is that centering, that grounding, just taking a few breaths, taking a moment to relax your whole body. And remember that you are the light source. Remember that you are the love within. Remember that you have a full embodiment of who you are and where you come from, and that you are so infinitely intelligent. I mean, it is unbelievable what you are capable of doing. And just try to remind yourself of that. Do mantras like Casey just showed, or do mantras as simple as I'm in control of myself. I'm in control of my emotions. I am okay, I am happy, I am smart enough, I am good enough, I am this, I am that, whatever the case is. And if that's too much, because I know there's some people, I've worked with clients before that I tell them that, and they're just like, but I'm not good enough. And I'm not, so I don't even feel that right now. Don't tell me to love myself, I hate myself right now. And it's like, okay, well, can you find something that interests you? Like, is there something that might be interesting? Like, is there a flower outside you can look at? Is there a book inside that's interesting to you? Is there something, even on the internet that you could find interest in for a few moments, just to take your mind out, to click off, exactly, click off what's going on, and just stop, slowly but surely get that momentum to slow down about that, insecurity or whatever it is that you're dealing with, and just kind of relax the whole body again. And then as soon as you get that little trickle, it'll start get bigger and get bigger and get bigger. And oh, that's interesting. Oh, and that's interesting. And oh, yes, I am this and I am that. I am great, until you're back to where you should be. So trigger emotions can be dangerous. I absolutely can't stand them. Which, now that I just said that, I will get 3 or 4 tomorrow. Okay, I will be exploded with trigger emotions this weekend just to test me, because I just said that. And it always comes to bite me in the butt. Yeah. So just keeping that, and remembering to not only to embrace that silence that gives you that moment of peace, but also knowing that you can't solve a problem. So if it's a problem, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Okay, always remember that. So if we can't get out of that space, then we can't solve the problem. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can't sit there and say how much I'm incapable and try to solve my incapability with my incapable mind. Okay, I have to get the heck out of there to then restart and solve my issue. And that's all we're trying to get you guys to do, is just find that peace of mind, find that silence, find that breath, and then come back to solve your problem.
Then you have freedom of choice. You have somewhere to choose from.
Exactly. And you have a different power of perception, right? You'd have a different perception, a different way of perceiving it. And also, I remember listening to something of Wayne Dyer's a long time ago, and it really stuck with me, where he said, wisdom is avoiding all thoughts that weaken you.
Huh, wow.
Okay. So if we avoid all thoughts that make us weaker, then we have wisdom. We have capability of everything we want to do, everything we want to see, anybody we want to help, anything we want to touch. It's just, the mind is so powerful, and we have to try to bring it back in, bring it back to that love within, like we always, the embodiment of soul care is being the love within. So bring it back in there, loving yourself so much that, you can climb out of these cases of insecurity, of these little tiny traps that society tries to put you in, or your friends or your family. Family is your biggest trigger, because they know you so well. I had my brother, I'm going to put him out there because he said something to me this weekend that just is the total truth. And it's what people do. And he said, you know, it's like that little thing where everybody just plants these bombs in your head and then they walk out of the room and they're like, let it explode. And it's so true. And that's exactly what a trigger emotion is. Someone plants it in your head, they leave, and it explodes. So it's just like, you know, it just takes you over. So use the things that we've given you to kind of get through that and bring yourself back to the love within, and to having pride in yourself and joy in yourself and accepting you and not caring what anybody else has to say. It's getting you out of that negative dimension and bringing you back into that positive dimension. And I think that once you can train your mind to start doing that, I mean, I've been training my mind since I was the age of 11 or less, and still these trigger emotions can come up. And, you know, Casey and I will do a whole segment another time just simply on emotions, where they lodge themselves in your bodies, the different organ systems, where those emotions grab onto and what organs they grab onto, and different clearing methods for that as well. But I think one of the best, easiest ways to do it is the grounding cord and is affirmations, positivity. And if you can't get there, finding something that sparks your interest. I don't even care if it's a color on a piece of paper, just something or the beautiful flowers behind Casey, you know, just something that takes your attention away. Light a candle, suddenly you're looking at a flame. There's nothing more beautiful. Okay.
Right.
So that's,
and I like what you said about Wayne's quote, just real quick. It's like, and affirm your strength every time you do this. Every time, you know, you dig yourself out of a hole, you go, oh, you catch yourself, you get stronger, you get better. You know, you're better than you were a day ago, a week ago, a year ago. Affirm where you've gotten yourself to. And that's kind of, you know, what we were communicating at the beginning. Affirm your strength. Every time you are getting stronger. Know that, believe that, honor that. And, you know, I mean, I'm even watching, you know, like my 7-year-old, it's like every time he's getting better. Today, you know, we both had a big victory, kind of went to a place trigger we usually go to, and then we both pulled out, and I was like, see, honey, I'm so proud of us both. We're both stronger now, you know. So also take pause, take a moment, and give yourself a pat on the back once in a while, you know. So that helps too.
Please be kind to yourself. I mean, if you're kind to yourself, then you're going to be kind to everybody else. It's those days that we beat up on ourselves so much that then we're a total ass to everybody else. You know, I mean, I have days that my husband says to me, why are you being so mean to me? And I'm like, because I'm really internally pissed off at myself. So back off until I get myself situated, and then I'll be able to communicate with you better. And it's the truth, you know, like when you're pissed, you're going to let everybody have it. And it's really important that we try to just remember, be kind to yourself, and then you'll be emanating that outward to everybody else. So, okay, did we want to do this passage, or how much time do we have? What's our time?
Yeah, we kind of ran out of both our timers. So yeah, I think we're ready for your passage. I wanted to throw in one other thing.
Yes, please.
It's been so soak in the sunlight as much as you can. And I know this sounds really obvious, but in terms of the grounding, you know, it really kind of pulls the energy through. And there are amazing cosmic codes coming from the sun right now. I won't go into it a bunch, but just know every moment you're soaking in the sun, you are literally infusing your body with light codes, literally. So, and it's such a powerful time to do the grounding cord is when you're sitting in the sun. So kind of play with that a little bit. But I'm telling you, it's uber powerful. I mean, part of literally when I kind of hit the wall on Sunday, I mean, Monday it was like, hey, I'm going to sit in the sun for 10 minutes. Like, it was like, okay, Mama felt much better after that, you know?
Oh, I don't think
very powerful energies.
Yeah, and I've been, that's interesting you say that, because I've been actually doing my meditations out in the sun.
Really? Oh, that's so
because
great. I love it.
You know, I start to do them, you know, I start thinking I'm going to do them inside, and then I just suddenly move outside. You know, the kids are screaming and yelling, and I just put my earplugs in and put my music on that I meditate to, and I just roast in the sun, and I fell asleep.
Wow.
2 days in a row now out there doing that. So
great. I love it.
Cool. I'm taking in the cosmos, taking in all of the coding that I need, clearly.
All you have to do is accept, and it will infuse you.
Yeah, exactly. Bring it on. I'm ready for whatever coding it wants to give me.
Oh, seriously. But yeah, you channeled another beautiful message this week, like you did in our first podcast, and we just really wanted to close with that.
Yes, and and it's pretty interesting because it actually came through before Casey and I decided what we were going to talk about this week. And so it was, and then I read it to her today, and we're both like, well, I guess that fits exactly what we're thinking about talking about. So it just goes to show that your guides, your angels, they know far more than you know right here on the planet, because they don't have all the other stuff going on. They can see clearly. And they're always looking out for you. They always know exactly what it is that you need to hear and what it is that they feel would be the best path for you to do it.
Yeah. And remember, we surrendered the whole content of this podcast. We're like, you know what? Spirit's going to come up with it.
Oh, yeah.
So clearly.
Usually we come in here with a plan, and this time we're like, we don't have a plan. Matt asked me before we started, he's like, well, what are you guys talking about? I'm like, whatever comes through. He's like, okay, have fun. All right. Okay, so here it is. This is a passage to all of you, a note to all of you once again, and I will write it out at some point.
Yeah, I like that.
And post it as well. If you don't get a chance to listen to it, at least you'll be able to see it. Okay, so here we go. Reach out your hands. We are here to take them, to hold them, to lead them. Do not run away from where you are or where you are going. We see you, we hear you, and we are here to help you and lead you. Give yourself the allowance to come forward towards us. We ask that all of you guide one another. Unify and love your way through all of these struggles. Each of you is dealing with something that feels far greater than you, but we have spoken before, and nothing is greater than you. Nothing can stand in front of you, nor has the power to stop you from achieving and escalating into your purest form and purpose. Mend your broken, tortured, and changed hearts with the love and healing power of godly source. Show yourself that you have come here with purpose, with courage, with strength, to know no limits and rise above all that is falling around you. We ask that you feel your eternal presence, your eternal love, your eternal waves of light. You are capable of anything. You are God. You can walk upon water. You can heal your fellow man. You can fly beyond all elements of life and be the greatest being that you are. Love each other, stand with each other, walk with each other, and be with each other. Call upon your power, and it will float lovingly into your heart. Breathe in your light. We love you. We cherish you, your guided source. Okay.
Thank you.
So that is your message this week, as well as all the other things that we've told you. And we always, as always, we welcome any comments, any emails, anything that you guys, don't send me any emotional triggers.
We have enough of our own.
I know, right? So
if you want to share, your emotional triggers, or just something,
exactly.
Kind of come up.
Yes. And we welcome all of that. I mean, we're here, as much as we're here, you guys are here with us, and we just always want to invite you in on conversation. If there's anything that is bothering you or that you would like addressed, please let us know. And I think that's it for us tonight.
Yep. Yeah. Remember who you really are.
Yes.
The love within, and we're sending everybody a big hug.
We love you. Cheers. Enjoy your night. I always do this because that's how I have been ending it.
Perfect. All right, bye.
Yeah, bye.
That's perfect. Bye.